Eliza Hartford pressed the shotgun barrel against the doorframe, her hand steady even as her heart cracked. Outside, 3 men laughed. Inside, her 8-year-old brother sobbed into her skirt. The bank wanted the store. The town wanted her gone. And the stranger fixing her wagon wheel in the dirt, the one with rope-burned hands and eyes that had seen too much, might be her last chance. Or her biggest mistake. Before we dive into Eliza's story, hit that subscribe button and buckle in. This tale's got twists sharper than a rattlesnake's bite. Stick around till the end, you won't believe where this goes. And drop a comment telling me what city you're watching from. I want to see how far this story travels. Now, let's get back to Redstone Valley, summer of 1876, where everything was about to go sideways. The bell above the door clanged like a funeral toll. Eliza didn't look up from the ledger. She knew that walk slow, deliberate boots that cost more than her entire month's stock. Silas Blackwell always walked like he owned the ground beneath him. In Redstone Valley, he damn near did. Miss Hartford. She kept writing. Column of numbers that didn't add up no matter how many times she reworked them. I'm closing, Mr. Blackwell. Won't take but a minute. He moved to the counter anyway, flanked by 2 men she didn't recognize. Big. The kind of big that wasn't just for show. The kind that broke things when asked. Eliza set down her pencil. Met his eyes. Gray as dirty snow. The payment's due in 2 weeks. You'll get every cent my father owed. Blackwell smiled. Didn't reach his eyes. Your father's debt ain't just money anymore, girl. It's accumulated. Interest on interest. Penalties for late payments. He pulled a document from his coat, unfolded it on her clean counter. According to my calculations, you're looking at $800, not $300. The room tilted. That's not legal. The original contract your father signed when he was drunk gives me considerable latitude regarding terms. Blackwell's finger traced the numbers. You've got 14 days. Then I take the deed. Store, stockroom, living quarters. All of it. Eliza's throat closed. $800. Might as well be $8,000. Might as well be the moon. Behind her, the curtain to the back room rustled. Tommy's face peeked through pale, too thin eyes, too big for his face. Blackwell saw him. Smiled wider. That's a fine boy you got there, Miss Hartford. Be a shame if he had to grow up on the street. Winter comes early in Wyoming. Gets cold. Real cold. Something snapped in Eliza's chest. She reached under the counter. Her father's Colt felt heavy in her hand, but she didn't shake when she laid it on the wood between them. Get out! Blackwell's men moved forward. He held up one hand. Now. No need for theatrics. He refolded the paper, tucked it away. 14 days. Clock's ticking. He tipped his hat. Ma'am. The door closed behind them. Eliza's legs gave out. She caught herself on the counter, breathing hard. The gun clattered onto the wood. Tommy rushed out, grabbed her waist. Liza, what's wrong? She pulled him close, pressed her face into his hair. He smelled like soap and hay, and the last good thing left in her life. Nothing, baby, nothing's wrong. But they both knew she was lying. Dawn came cold. Eliza loaded the wagon by herself. 50-pound sacks of flour from the depot, crates of canned goods, a bolt of fabric Mrs. Chen had ordered. The wagon groaned under the weight. The mare tossed her head, annoyed at the early hour. Halfway up Main Street, the axle cracked. Not broke. Not yet. But the sound, sharp splintering, sent ice through Eliza's gut. She pulled the mare to a stop. Climbed down. Saw the split running through the wood like a wound. No. She pressed her hands to her face, breathed through her fingers. The sun wasn't even up yet, and already the day was broken. If she couldn't deliver Mrs. Chen's fabric, she'd lose that customer. If she lost customers, she lost income. If she lost income, 14 days. That axle's done for. Eliza spun. A man stood 10 feet back. Tall, lean in the way of someone who'd missed meals, but worked through it anyway. Dark hair needed cutting, beard needed trimming, but his eyes brown, steady, careful, those were clear. "I can see that," Eliza said. "I can fix it." "I didn't ask." "No, ma'am, but the offer stands." She studied him, didn't recognize him, which meant he wasn't local. Strangers in Redstone Valley usually meant one of three things: miners looking for work in played-out claims, gamblers looking for easy marks, or men running from something. His hands caught her attention, scarred across the knuckles. Rope burns on the wrists, mostly healed, but visible. Working hands. Hard hands. "You the new blacksmith?" "Helping out at the forge, yes ma'am." "What's it cost?" "2 bits. Or a meal. Whichever you got to spare." Eliza almost laughed. 2 bits for an axle repair that would take an hour minimum. He was either stupid or desperate. She looked at him again. Desperate, she decided. Same as her. "A meal," she said. "But you eat after the work's done. I don't pay for promises." Something flickered in his face. Respect, maybe, or just relief. Fair enough. He moved to the wagon, examined the crack, ran his thumb along the split. "I'll need to take the wheel off, reinforce the axle with iron strapping. She'll hold, but you'll want a full replacement soon." "How soon?" "Month, maybe 2 if you're gentle with her." Which meant money she didn't have for repairs she couldn't afford. "Just make it hold," Eliza said. He nodded. Started unloading the cargo onto the side of the road. When he reached for the flour sacks, Eliza moved to help. Their hands touched on the same sack. She jerked back. He froze, held up both palms. "Sorry, ma'am. Didn't mean—" "It's fine." She grabbed another sack. Didn't look at him. "Let's just get this done." They worked in silence. Unloaded the wagon. He pulled tools from a satchel at his hip, hammer, iron strap snails. The sun climbed while he worked. Eliza sat on Mrs. Chen's fabric crate and watched. He moved like a man who understood tools. No wasted motion, no hesitation. The hammer rang against metal in steady rhythm. "You got a name?" she asked. He didn't stop working. "Jesse." "That's it, just Jesse." "Jesse Thornton." "Where you from, Jesse Thornton?" His shoulders tensed. "East." "That narrows it down." "Ain't much to tell." Which meant there was plenty to tell, but he didn't want to. Eliza filed that away. He finished the repair, tested the wheel, loaded the cargo back on with the same steady efficiency. "She'll hold," he said. "But gentle, like I said." "Understood." He wiped his hands on his pants, looked at her, waited. The meal. Eliza stood. "Come on, store's 2 blocks south." The Hartford General Store occupied a corner lot that had seen better decades. The sign needed repainting. The porch sagged, but inside Eliza kept it clean, swept floors, dusted shelves, made it look like more than it was. She led Jesse through the front door, locked it behind them. "Tommy," she called. Footsteps on the stairs. Her brother appeared sleepy-eyed and suspicious. "Who's that?" "Man who fixed the wagon. He's staying for breakfast." Tommy's eyes widened. They didn't have guests. Ever. "Go wash up," Eliza said. "And put on a clean shirt." Tommy disappeared. Eliza moved to the stove. Still warm from last night. She added kindling. Got the fire going. Pulled out eggs, a bit of bacon, the last of the good bread. Jesse stood awkward in the middle of the room. "Sit," Eliza said. He sat. She cooked. The silence stretched. Not comfortable, but not hostile either. Just 2 people who'd forgotten how to talk to strangers. Tommy came back down. Cleaner shirt buttoned wrong. He climbed into his chair and stared at Jesse. "You're tall," Tommy said. Tommy. Eliza shot him a look. It's all right. Jesse's mouth twitched, almost a smile. I am tall. Can you reach the top shelf? I reckon. Liza can't. She uses a stool. Tommy. What you do? Eliza set plates on the table. Bacon, eggs, bread with butter. Not much, but hot. Jesse stared at his plate like he'd seen a miracle. Go ahead, she said. He ate, not fast, but steady, like a man who'd learned not to waste food or take it for granted. Tommy talked around mouthfuls. Told Jesse about school, about the horse he wanted, about the mean kids who called him names because his pa was dead and his sister ran a store like a man. Eliza didn't stop him. Let him talk. Watched Jesse's face while he listened. The stranger didn't interrupt, didn't dismiss, just nodded in the right places and asked questions that made Tommy light up. When breakfast ended, Tommy cleared the plates without being asked, took them to the wash basin. Jesse stood. Thank you, ma'am. That was... He stopped, swallowed. Best meal I've had in a while. When's the last time you ate? Yesterday. Before that. He didn't answer. Eliza made a decision. Probably a stupid one. But 14 days didn't leave room for smart. You said you're helping at the forge. Yes, ma'am. You staying somewhere? Boarding house on the edge of town. How much they charging? 6 bits a night. Highway robbery. Eliza wiped her hands on her apron. Looked at him. Really looked. Saw the careful way he held himself. The way his eyes never quite rested. The tension in his shoulders like he was always ready to run or fight. This was a bad idea. She said it anyway. I need a husband. Jesse's face went blank. Ma'am? On paper. Legal, but not... She gestured vaguely. Not real. An arrangement. I don't understand. The bank's trying to take my store, debt my father left. But if I'm married, the property laws change. They can't take it as easy. She crossed her arms. You need steady work and a place to stay. I need someone who looks like they could stop 3 men from kicking in my door at midnight. Jesse sat back down. You don't know me. I know you stopped for a stranger on the road. That's more than most men in this town would do. Miss Hartford. Eliza. Eliza. He said her name careful like it might break. You're asking me to lie to the law, to the church, to everybody. I'm asking you to help me protect my brother. That landed. She saw it in his face. Why me? He asked. Because you're desperate enough to fix a wagon for a meal. Because you got nowhere else to go. Because... She paused. Because you don't look at me like I'm crazy, or used up, or trouble. Maybe I should. Maybe. She pulled out a chair, sat across from him. But you won't, I can tell. Jesse was quiet a long time. His hands rested on the table, those scarred, careful hands. What would it cost me? He asked. Room in the barn, meals, steady work at the store and the forge, wages when I can pay them. And you? I get to keep my home. Tommy stays fed. And when the town sees a man living here, they'll think twice before causing trouble. How long? Year, maybe. Long enough to get clear of the debt and look respectable. Then what? Then you leave. We file for divorce. You get a stake to start somewhere else. Clean break. He studied her face. She let him. Didn't flinch. You're serious, he said, as the grave. You really don't know me, Eliza. I ain't. He stopped. Started again. There's things in my past, things that might catch up. We all got things. Not like mine. She leaned forward. Are you going to hurt me or my brother? No. Are you going to steal from me? No, ma'am. Then I don't care what you did before you got here. I care what you do now. Silence. Tommy's voice drifted from the washroom. singing something off-key and cheerful. Jesse closed his eyes. "If I say yes, you say yes, we go to the courthouse today. Get it done before Blackwell hears." "He's the banker. He's the problem." Jesse opened his eyes, looked at her. She saw the war in his face, the part that wanted to run and the part that was so damn tired of running. "All right," he said. "I'll do it." Eliza's lungs unlocked. She hadn't realized she'd been holding her breath. "All right," she echoed. They shook hands across the table. His palm was rough, warm. He held on a second longer than necessary. "You sure about this?" he asked. "No, but I'm out of good options." He almost smiled. "Fair enough." Tommy burst back into the room. "Liza, can I show Jesse the—" He stopped, looked between them. "What's happening?" Eliza stood, smoothed her skirt. "Jesse's going to be staying with us for a while." Tommy's face split into a grin. "Really? Really? Can he sleep in my room?" "Barn, Tommy?" "Aw." Tommy turned to Jesse. "The barn's not so bad. It's warm, and you can hear the horses." Jesse stood, looked down at the boy. Something soft crossed his face, something that hurt to watch. "Sounds good to me, kid." Tommy grabbed his hand. "Come on, I'll show you where everything is. And the good hay bales. Some of them got mice." He dragged Jesse toward the door. The stranger let himself be pulled, glancing back once at Eliza. She nodded. He nodded back. And just like that, Eliza Hartford gambled everything on a man with rope burns and secrets in his eyes. They stood before Judge Morrison at 2 in the afternoon. Eliza wore her Sunday dress, dark blue, clean buttons, all intact. Jesse had borrowed a jacket from somewhere, too big in the shoulders, but it covered the worst of the trail dust on his shirt. Tommy sat on a bench in the corner swinging his legs. Mary Chen stood beside him, the only witness, the only person Eliza trusted. Judge Morrison was old, half-deaf, and hadn't asked a single question that mattered. He read the vows from a card so worn the edges had gone soft. "Do you, Jesse Thornton, take this woman?" "I do." "And do you, Eliza Hartford, take this man?" "I do." "Then by the power vested in me by the Wyoming Territory, I pronounce you husband and wife." He peered at them over his spectacles. "You may kiss if you're so inclined." Eliza's stomach dropped. Jesse looked at her. She looked at him. This was the part she hadn't thought through. He stepped closer, slow. Gave her time to pull away. She didn't. He took her hand, lifted it, pressed his lips to her knuckles. Gentle, brief, over before her heart could decide how to react. "That'll do," he murmured. Judge Morrison shrugged. "I've seen less. Sign here." They signed. Mary Chen signed. The judge stamped the certificate, handed it to Eliza. "Congratulations, Mrs. Thornton." The name hit her like cold water. Mrs. Thornton. Not Hartford. Not anymore. Tommy launched off the bench. "Are we going to have cake?" "No cake," Eliza said. "But you got married. You're supposed to have cake." "Next time," Jesse said. Tommy frowned. "There's going to be a next time." Mary Chen laughed, soft and low. "Come on, Tommy. Let's walk back. Give them a minute." She herded the boy toward the door, paused to squeeze Eliza's shoulder. "You're braver than me," Mary whispered. "Or stupider. Maybe both." The door closed behind them. Eliza and Jesse stood alone in the courthouse, married. "So," Jesse said. "So. I should—" He gestured vaguely. "Get my things. From the boarding house." "Right. Yes." They didn't move. "Eliza, if you're going to apologize, don't." "Wasn't gonna. Just—" He rubbed the back of his neck. "Thank you. For trusting me. Don't make me regret it. I'll do my best." She believed him. God help her, she did. They walked back to the store separately. Eliza first, Jesse 10 minutes behind. No point giving the town gossips more ammunition than necessary. But by sunset, everybody knew. The orphan shopkeeper married a stranger. The whispers started before dark. Eliza made dinner. Stew from yesterday's bones, biscuits, coffee that was more water than bean. Tommy talked non-stop, asked Jesse questions faster than the man could answer. Where'd he learn to fix wagons? Could he ride a horse? Did he know how to shoot? Had he ever seen an Indian? A bear? A gunfight? Jesse answered patient, gave enough to satisfy, but not enough to reveal. Eliza watched him over the rim of her cup. He caught her looking, held her gaze. She looked away first. After dinner, Tommy showed Jesse the barn. Came back bouncing. He's got a real saddle, Liza, and a bedroll, and a knife this big. He spread his hands wide. Everybody's got a knife, baby. Not like his. Eliza filed that away with the rest. The rope burns, the careful way he moved, the knife. When Tommy finally went to bed, she walked out to the barn. Jesse had made a space in the corner. Bedroll on clean hay, saddle for a pillow, a lantern burning low. He stood when she entered. Something wrong? Just checking. I ain't gonna steal the horses. Didn't think you would. She looked around. The barn was old but solid. Tommy was right, it was warm. The horses shifted in their stalls, gentle sounds in the dark. It's not much, she said. It's more than I had yesterday. She turned to face him. He stood 5 feet back, giving her space. Always giving her space. Jesse, I need to know what you're really asking. Yes. He was quiet. Then, I rode with bad men, did bad things, hurt people who didn't deserve it. His voice stayed level, factual. I ain't that man anymore, but I can't promise the past won't come looking. How bad? Bad enough there's paper on me. Maybe, if anyone's still looking. Wanted? Was. Don't know if I still am. Eliza's chest tightened. What's the charge? Robbery. Maybe worse depending who's telling. You kill anybody? He met her eyes. Not directly, but people got hurt in the jobs we pulled. That blood's on my hands, same as if I'd held the gun. She should have been scared. Should have walked back into the house and barred the door and taken Tommy and run. Instead, she asked, Why'd you stop? My sister got sick, needed medicine. I was off robbing stages while she died alone. His voice cracked. Just barely. By the time I got home, she'd been in the ground 3 days. I'm sorry. Don't be. I made my choices. He sat down on his bedroll, looked at his hands. After that, I couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't look at myself. So I left. Been drifting since. How long? 1.5 years. Anyone come after you? Not yet, but I ain't banking on luck holding forever. Eliza walked to the barn door, looked out at the dark town, lights in windows, smoke from chimneys, normal people living normal lives. She'd never been normal. Why start now? If trouble comes, she said, we'll deal with it. Eliza, I mean it. You kept your end today. I'll keep mine. She left before he could argue. But halfway across the yard she stopped, turned back. He stood in the barn doorway backlit by the lantern. Jesse, ma'am. Thank you, for being honest. He nodded once. Only way I know how, anymore. She went inside, locked the door, leaned against it. Her hands were shaking, not from fear, from the weight of what she'd done, the risk she'd taken. The man she'd tied her life to on nothing but instinct and desperation. Tommy's voice drifted down from upstairs. Liza, you coming to bed? In a minute, baby. She touched the marriage certificate on the table, ran her finger over the names. Jesse Thornton, Eliza Thornton, God help them both. 3 days passed quiet. Jesse worked, fixed the sagging porch, rehinged the front door, spent afternoons at the forge helping old Mr. Patterson with repairs. Eliza ran the store, filled orders, smiled at customers who smiled back with teeth that didn't reach their eyes. Tommy followed Jesse like a shadow. Learned to hammer nails straight, to check a horse's hoof for stones, to split kindling without taking off a finger. At night they ate together. Jesse slept in the barn. Eliza lay awake listening for sounds that didn't come. It was almost peaceful. Then Blackwell came back. Blackwell walked into the store on a Thursday morning when the sun sat mean and bright in the sky. He wasn't alone this time. 4 men, all armed. Eliza stood behind the counter weighing flour for Mrs. Patterson. Her hand stilled on the scale. "Store's open to paying customers," she said. Blackwell smiled. That snake smile that never touched his eyes. "Heard some interesting news, Miss Hartford." He paused. "Or should I say Mrs. Thornton?" Mrs. Patterson's head swiveled. Her eyes went wide. "That'll be 40 cents, Eliza told her. The old woman fumbled with her coin purse, dropped 2 coins, scrambled to pick them up, nearly ran for the door. Blackwell waited until she was gone. "Married? How convenient." He walked to the counter, picked up a jar of preserves, examined the label. "And to a stranger, no less. Man nobody knows, who appeared right when you needed him most. Love works in mysterious ways. Love." He set the jar down hard. Glass rang against wood. "Or desperation. Is there something you want, Mr. Blackwell, because I'm closing for lunch? Just wanted to congratulate you, and meet the lucky groom." He looked past her toward the back room. He around, working. Where? The forge. Blackwell turned to his men. "Tate, go fetch Mr. Thornton. Tell him his wife needs him." One of them left. Eliza's pulse kicked up. She kept her face smooth. "You're wasting your time. The marriage is legal, witnessed by Judge Morrison himself." "I'm sure it is. Just want to shake the man's hand. Welcome him to Redstone Valley." Blackwell leaned on the counter. "After all, he's taken on quite a burden. Your father's debts, your reputation, that boy upstairs." He tilted his head. "Where is the boy? School. Good. Education's important." He straightened. "You know what else is important, Mrs. Thornton, honesty. And I got a feeling there's something dishonest about this whole arrangement." The door opened. Jesse walked in, Tate behind him. Sweat darkened his shirt. Soot streaked his forearms. His eyes found Eliza, first checking, then moved to Blackwell. "You needed me." His voice came out flat. Dangerous flat. Blackwell's smile widened. "Mr. Thornton, congratulations on your marriage." "Thanks." "Quick courtship." "When you know, you know." "Indeed." Blackwell circled him slow. "Where'd you say you were from?" "Didn't." "Funny thing about small towns, we like to know who's living among us, especially when they marry into property." Jesse didn't move, didn't react, just stood there like a man carved from stone. "I ain't after her property. I'm after steady work and a place to sleep." "Noble. But see, I did some asking around. Sent a telegram east. Asked if anyone knew a Jesse Thornton." He pulled a paper from his coat, unfolded it. Got an interesting reply. Eliza's stomach dropped. The paper was a wanted poster. Faded. Old. But the face rough sketch, but close enough. Jesse Thornton. $500 reward. Armed robbery. Possibly dangerous. "That you?" Blackwell asked. Jesse's jaw tightened. "Was me. Was. I served time. Paid my debt. That warrant's old." "Funny. Because I also heard the gang you rode with is still operating. Dalton crew. Nasty bunch. Maybe they'd be interested to know where you ended up." Threat hung in the air, thick as smoke. Eliza stepped around the counter, stood beside Jesse. "He's my husband. You threaten him, you threaten me." Blackwell laughed, short and sharp. Mrs. Thornton, I'm not threatening anyone, just stating facts. Your husband's a wanted man, if the law comes calling, or if certain people find out he's here well. He shrugged. Terrible things happen to criminals, and to people who harbor them. Get out, Eliza said. I'll leave, but the debt still stands, 11 days now. He moved toward the door, stopped. Oh, and one more thing. Marriage to a criminal, that's grounds for annulment. Means the property protections you were counting on, they disappear. He tipped his hat. Sleep well, Mrs. Thornton. The door closed. Eliza turned to Jesse. He stared at the space where Blackwell had been. Jesse. I'll go. Pack my things. Be gone before sunset. No. Eliza, you heard him. He'll use me against you. Take everything. Then we fight. There's no fighting this. I'm poison. Should have told you no from the start. She grabbed his arm. He flinched, but didn't pull away. Look at me. He did, those brown eyes full of guilt and resignation. You think I didn't know this was possible? That your past might catch up? She held tighter. I knew. I chose it anyway. Why? Because you were decent when you didn't have to be. Because you're good to Tommy. Because... She stopped. Started again. Because I'm tired of being alone. And maybe you are too. His throat worked. I ain't worth this. Let me decide what you're worth. Footsteps on the stairs. Tommy appeared home from school, face bright. Jesse, you're back. Can we... He saw their faces. What's wrong? Eliza let go of Jesse's arm, forced a smile. Nothing, baby. Go wash up. I'll start dinner. But now Tommy. He went, slow, looking back. When he was gone, Jesse spoke quiet. I won't let him hurt you. I know. But I can't promise I can stop what's coming. Then we'll face it together. He searched her face. Whatever he found there made something in him crack, just a little. All right, he said. Together. That night neither of them slept. Eliza heard Jesse moving in the barn, restless. She sat at the kitchen table with cold tea and the marriage certificate and tried to figure a way out of the trap closing around them. By dawn, she had nothing. Just the certainty that Blackwell wouldn't stop, and the fear that Jesse's past was bigger and darker than either of them were ready for. The next morning brought rain, cold and hard. Summer storm that turned the roads to mud and kept customers away. Eliza used the quiet to take stock, count inventory, run numbers that still didn't add up to salvation. Jesse worked outside despite the weather, fixed the gutter, reseated loose boards on the porch, came in soaked and shivering. She handed him a towel. Coffee. You'll catch your death. Needed doing. Could have waited. Didn't want to. They stood in the kitchen. Water dripped off him onto the floor. He held the coffee cup like it was the only warm thing left in the world. Jesse, about what Blackwell said. Don't. We need to talk about it. Nothing to talk about. I'm trouble. You married trouble. End of story. It's not the end. It's barely the beginning. He set the cup down. Eliza, you don't understand. The Dalton gang, I didn't just ride with them. I was good at it. Real good. That's why they kept me. And when I left... He stopped, breathed. I didn't ask permission. Men like that don't let you just walk away. How long's it been? 1.5 years, but they're patient. And they remember. You think they'll come here? If Blackwell's asking questions, sending telegrams eventually... Yeah, she wanted to be scared. Should have been scared, but all she felt was tired anger. Then we prepare. Prepare how? You teach me to shoot better. We warn the sheriff. The sheriff? Jesse laughed. Bitter. Sheriff Grimes is in Blackwell's pocket. Has been for years. You report me, he'll arrest me on the spot. Use that old warrant whether it's still valid or not. Then we go around him. To who? There's no law out here that ain't corrupt or bought or just plain don't care. He was right. She knew he was right. But giving up felt like dying. There has to be something. There is. I leave. You annul the marriage. Tell everyone I deceived you. You're the victim. They'll leave you alone. And you. I keep running, like I should have done from the start. Tommy's voice cut through. No. They both turned. He stood in the doorway, soaked from the rain, eyes wide and fierce. Tommy, what are you? I heard you. In the barn this morning. Heard everything. He looked at Jesse. You can't leave. Kid, I have to. No. You're family now. You said you'd stay. Tommy. Eliza started. He's my friend. The boy's voice broke. Please don't go. Please. I'll be good. I'll help more. Jesse crossed the room fast, knelt in front of Tommy, put his hands on the boy's shoulders. Listen to me. This ain't about you being good. You're the best kid I've ever known. This is about me, about things I did before I met you. Bad things. I don't care. You should. But I don't. Tommy grabbed Jesse's shirt. You saved me from those horses. You taught me stuff. You don't yell, you listen. He gulped. You're like having a paw. Jesse's face crumpled. Just for a second. Then he pulled Tommy into a hug, held him tight while the boy cried into his shoulder. Eliza looked away, her own eyes burning. When Tommy finally quieted, Jesse pulled back, looked him in the face. I'll stay, for now. But if bad men come, you do what your sister says. You run, you hide, you don't try to be a hero. Understand? Tommy nodded. Promise me. I promise. Jesse stood, looked at Eliza. I'll stay. But if it goes sideways, it won't. If it does, you get him out. Whatever it takes. I will. They stood there. The three of them. A family built on lies and necessity, and something else. Something real, growing in the cracks. Outside, the rain fell harder. The storm wasn't done with them yet. 2 days later, a stranger rode into town. Eliza saw him from the store window. Tall, lean, gun slung low. The kind of man who wore his weapon like some men wore hats, natural and always ready. He tied his horse outside the saloon, went inside. Mary Chen came by an hour later, breathless. There's a man, asking questions. What kind of questions? About newcomers, men who arrived in the last few months. He's got a... She glanced at Tommy playing in the corner, lowered her voice. He's got papers, wanted posters. Eliza's blood went cold. Where's Jesse? Forge. Go get him, now. Don't let him come through town. Back way. Mary left running. Eliza locked the front door, pulled the shades. Liza. Tommy looked up from his drawing. What's wrong? Nothing, just stay away from the windows. Why? Tommy, please. Just do it. He heard the fear in her voice, went pale, nodded. Eliza pulled her father's gun from under the counter, checked the cylinder, 6 rounds. Her hands shook loading it. The back door opened. Jesse came in fast, Mary behind him. How many? He asked. 1. At the saloon. Bounty hunter. Probably. Jesse moved to the window, peered through a crack in the shade. I see him. Jake Carver. You know him? Rode together once. He was the one who kept track of who was wanted where. Made money on the side turning in other criminals. His voice went hard. He knows my face. Knows what I'm worth. What do we do? Jesse turned, looked at her, at Tommy, at Mary. I go out there, talk to him. Maybe he's not here for me. And if he is, then I deal with it. Jesse. Eliza. I won't bring a gunfight into your store, into your home. If he wants me, I face him in the street. That's suicide. That's the code. To hell with the code. He crossed to her, put his hands on her shoulders. I need you to trust me. I do, but... Then let me do this. He looked at Tommy. Take care of your sister, kid. Jesse, no. But he was already moving. Out the back door, into the alley. Eliza ran to the window, watched him walk toward Main Street. Every step measured. Calm. Mary gripped her hand. He's either very brave or very stupid. Both, Eliza whispered. Jesse stepped onto Main Street just as Jake Carver exited the saloon. They saw each other. The whole town seemed to hold its breath. Jesse Thornton, Carver's voice carried. Been a while. Carver. Heard you might be around here. Didn't believe it at first. He stepped down into the mud. You got old. You got uglier. Carver laughed. Still got that mouth. Good. Means you ain't completely broken yet. They stood 20 feet apart. Carver's hand rested on his gun. Casual. Ready. I ain't looking for trouble, Jesse said. Ain't offering any. Just came to deliver a message. From who? The boys. Dalton wants his money back. The cut you took when you left. I didn't take nothing. That was my share. He disagrees. Says you owed loyalty. Says leaving in the middle of a job made things complicated. That job got Smith killed. I wasn't staying for more of the same. Smith got sloppy. You got scared. Jesse's jaw worked. Tell Dalton I'm out. I ain't coming back. He can have the money. I'll send it when I earn it. He don't want payments. He wants you. For what? To make an example. Can't have men thinking they can just walk away. Carver smiled. But here's the thing. I'm willing to forget I saw you, for the right price. I ain't got money. No, but you got something better. His eyes flicked to the store, to the window where Eliza stood frozen. You got a wife, a pretty one from what I hear, and a store. Everything in Jesse went still, deadly still. Don't, he said. Don't what I'm just making conversation, noticing things. Carver tilted his head. Wondering why a man like you would settle down in a place like this. Wondering what she knows about your past. Wondering, Carver, I'll give you one chance. Ride out. Now. Tell Dalton I'm dead. Tell him anything, but leave them out of it. Can't do that. See, there's a reward on you. $500. That's 6 months of work and 1 arrest. And I'm a practical man. You try to take me in, one of us dies. Maybe, but you're rusty. I ain't. Carver's hand moved to his gun. Didn't draw, just rested there. So here's how this goes. You come quiet, I collect. Your wife never knows the details. Kid grows up thinking you were just a drifter who moved on. Or I make this messy. Burn the store. Arrest her for harboring. Take the boy to an orphanage in Cheyenne. Your choice. Jesse's hands hung at his sides. He wore no gun, had left it in the forge. Stupid. Stupid and sentimental, and now he was going to pay for it. All right, Jesse said. I'll go. But you leave them alone. Deal. Carver pulled handcuffs from his belt, walked forward. A gunshot cracked the air. Carver jerked, looked down at his leg. Blood bloomed through his pants. He spun. Eliza stood in the street, her father's gun smoking in her hand. You ain't taking him, she said. Carver's face went dark. Lady, you just shot a licensed bounty hunter. That's a felony. So arrest me. Eliza. Jesse started. Shut up. She didn't look at him. Kept the gun trained on Carver. You want him, you go through me. You can't even shoot straight. That was a leg wound. Lucky shot. Wasn't aiming for your leg. Carver blinked. Reevaluated. Behind Eliza, Mary Chen stepped out, holding a rifle. Then old Mr. Patterson, with his hunting shotgun. then Mrs. Patterson, then the baker, then the couple from the boarding house. One by one, the townspeople who'd whispered and judged and turned their backs, they stepped into the street, armed. Not all of them, but enough. Carver looked around. This is illegal. So's extortion, Mary said. I'm enforcing the law. Law says a man's got a right to a trial, Mr. Patterson added. Not a bullet or a rope from a bounty hunter who don't care if he brings them in alive. Carver's hand twitched toward his gun. Don't. Eliza cocked the hammer. Next one goes higher. He froze. Sheriff Grimes finally appeared. Moving slow, annoyed. What in the hell is going on? This woman shot me, Carver shouted. He threatened my family, Eliza said. She's harboring a wanted man. Grimes looked at Jesse, at Eliza, at the crowd. Everybody lower your weapons, now. Nobody moved. I said, We heard you, Sheriff. Mary's voice stayed calm. But we got a problem. This bounty hunter comes into our town, threatens one of our own, threatens to burn down a business, threatens a child. That's not law. That's terrorism. She shot him. In defense of her husband. That's legal. Grimes rubbed his face. Jesus Christ. Carver, you press charges? Damn right I do. Then I'll arrest her, and him, and we'll sort this out at trial. No. Blackwell's voice cut through. He walked up, slow, smiling. No arrests, Sheriff. Not today. Grimes frowned. Boss, they're within their rights. Man threatens your family on your property, you got a right to defend. That's Wyoming law. Blackwell looked at Eliza, at Jesse. Besides, Mr. Thornton and I have business to discuss. Private business. Carver spit. This is bullshit. This is politics. Get your leg looked at, then ride out. I'll compensate you for your trouble. I want the reward, and I want a lot of things. Life's disappointing. Blackwell gestured to his men. Help Mr. Carver to the doctor. They hauled him off, still cursing. The crowd began to disperse, slow, watching. Blackwell turned to Jesse. My office, 1 hour. I ain't. You are, unless you want me to change my mind about those arrests. He tipped his hat to Eliza. Mrs. Thornton. He left. Eliza lowered the gun. Her hands shook so bad she nearly dropped it. Jesse caught her, held her steady. What did you do? He breathed. I don't know. I saw him reaching and I just... You could have been killed. So could you. He pulled her close. Right there in the street, in front of everyone, held her like the world was ending. Maybe it was. Tommy ran out, crashed into them both. All three held on tight. Eliza, Jesse said into her hair. Yeah, thank you. She laughed, sounded half hysterical. You're welcome. An hour later, Jesse walked into Blackwell's office alone. The banker sat behind a massive oak desk. Whiskey poured, 2 glasses. Sit. Jesse sat. Blackwell pushed a glass toward him. Drink. You look like you need it. What do you want? Straight to business. I like that. Blackwell leaned back. I want you to understand something. I own this town. The bank, the saloon, half the businesses, and most of the land. What I don't own, I control, including the sheriff. Congratulations. But your wife, she's stubborn, won't sell, won't bend. And now she's got the town thinking she's some kind of hero, defending her criminal husband. He sipped his whiskey. That's a problem for me. So kill me, take the store. I could, but that makes her a martyr, makes me the villain. Town turns on me. I lose leverage elsewhere. He set down his glass. So here's the deal. You work for me. Jesse laughed. No. Hear me out. You've got skills. Skills I can use. There are people who owe me money. People who need persuading. You do that persuading. I clear your debt. Forgive the $800. Let you and Eliza live in peace. You want me to be your thug. I want you to collect what's owed. Nothing illegal, just encouragement. And if I say no, then Carver comes back with a marshal. I testify I saw you threaten people. Your wife goes down as an accomplice. Tommy goes to the orphanage. He smiled. Your choice. Jesse's hands curled into fists. How long? 6 months. Maybe less. Depends on how cooperative people are. And after we're square, you're free. Jesse stared at the whiskey, at his reflection in the amber liquid. He thought of Eliza standing in the street with a smoking gun, of Tommy crying into his shirt, of the life he'd almost let himself believe he could have. I'll do it, he said. But you leave them alone, completely. No threats, no visits. They don't even know about this arrangement. Deal. They shook hands. Jesse walked out of that office with a weight on his chest that felt like drowning. When he got back to the store, Eliza was waiting. What did he want? To gloat. To warn me. Jesse couldn't meet her eyes. To remind me I'm on borrowed time. Jesse. I'm tired, Eliza. Can we just not talk about it tonight? She studied him, saw something she didn't like, but nodded. All right, tomorrow. Tomorrow. But tomorrow came with its own problems. And the lies Jesse told himself that he could protect her, that he could keep his hands clean, that he could balance 2 lives without losing his soul, those lies were about to come crashing down. Because Blackwell's first job was simple. Go to the Chen laundry, collect payment. And Mary Chen was Eliza's only friend. Jesse stood outside Mary Chen's laundry at dawn. The paper in his pocket felt like it weighed 100 pounds. Payment due, $40. Blackwell's handwriting. Blackwell's orders. He'd lain awake all night trying to find another way. There wasn't one. The door was unlocked. Mary stood at the wash basin, arms deep in soapy water. She looked up when he entered, smiled. Jesse, early for a visit. He couldn't return the smile. Need to talk to you. Something in his voice made her hands still. What's wrong? He pulled out the paper, set it on the counter between them. Blackwell sent me. Says you owe $40. Mary's face went pale. I paid that, last month. He says you didn't. I did. I have the receipt. She stopped. Understanding dawned. He sent you to collect again. Jesse nodded. And if I don't pay, he'll take the laundry. Mary dried her hands slow, walked to a small box on the shelf, pulled out a folded paper, showed him. Receipt, paid in full. Blackwell's signature. He's stealing from me, she said, quiet. I know. And you're helping him. I don't have a choice. There's always a choice, Jesse. He looked at his hands. The hands that had held Eliza, that had ruffled Tommy's hair, that had built and fixed and tried to be better. If I don't do this, he'll destroy Eliza. Tommy, everything. So you'll destroy me instead. He had no answer. No good answer. Mary studied him, then pulled out a small cloth purse, counted out coins, $40. Everything she had by the look of it. Take it, she said. Mary, take it before I change my mind. He took the money. Felt like he was swallowing glass. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't spend. She turned back to the wash basin. Tell Eliza I can't meet for tea this week. I'll be working extra to make this back. Jesse left. The coins burned through his pocket all the way back to Blackwell's office. The banker counted the money twice, smiled. See? That wasn't so hard. She showed me the receipt. You already collected. Business expenses. She'll make it back. Chinese are good with money. Jesse's hands fisted. This wasn't the deal. The deal is you do what I say. When I say. Blackwell slid another paper across the desk. Next one. Peterson Ranch. 3 months behind on the loan. $150. Old man Peterson doesn't have that kind of money. Then he'll lose the ranch, unless you persuade him otherwise. How? Use your imagination. You were creative enough robbing stages. Blackwell leaned back. Just remember, 6 months of this, or Eliza loses everything, including you. Jesse took the paper, walked out before he did something stupid. He spent the rest of the day working the forge, hammering out anger on red-hot iron, trying to find a way through the trap. Tommy found him at lunch, brought bread and cheese. You okay? You look mad. I'm fine, kid. Liza says you've been different, since you talked to Mr. Blackwell. Just work stuff. She's worried. I'm worried. Tommy sat on an overturned bucket. Are you leaving? No. Promise? Jesse looked at the boy, at the trust in his eyes, the fear under it. I promise I'll do everything I can to stay. But Tommy. He set down the hammer. Sometimes doing the right thing means doing hard things, things that hurt. Like what? Like, how did you explain this to an 8-year-old? Like choosing between 2 bad options and hoping you picked the less bad one. Tommy frowned. That doesn't make sense. I know, but that's being grown up sometimes. Sounds terrible. Jesse almost smiled. It can be. They ate in silence. Then Tommy spoke quiet. My pa used to say that too, before he died, that he had to do bad things for good reasons. He looked at Jesse, but the bad things made him sad. And then he was just sad all the time until he wasn't here anymore. Cold spread through Jesse's chest. What do you mean? He died. From the sadness. That's what Liza said. That he couldn't carry it anymore. Jesus. The father hadn't died from gambling debts. He'd died from them. Took his own way out. Tommy, listen to me. If things get hard, if I seem sad, I need you to keep being you. Keep talking to me. Keep asking questions. Keep dragging me out to look at horses and practice hammering. Can you do that? Why? Because you remind me what I'm fighting for. Tommy threw his arms around Jesse's waist, squeezed tight. I love you, the boy said into his shirt. Jesse's throat closed. He put his hand on Tommy's head. Couldn't speak. Just held on. When Tommy left, Jesse stared at the Peterson Ranch paper. $150. Old man had to have something worth that. Cattle, equipment, something. He rode out that afternoon. Peterson met him at the gate, rifle across his lap. 60-something, weathered like old leather. Thornton, heard you married the Hartford girl. Yes, sir. Good for you. She's tough. Needs someone tough beside her. He spit tobacco. What brings you out? Jesse showed him the paper. Peterson's face went hard. Already talked to Blackwell. Told him I'd pay when the cattle sold. He wants it now. Ain't got it now. He'll take the ranch. Let him try. Peterson lifted the rifle. Not pointing, just holding. I built this place with my own hands. Buried my wife here. Buried 2 sons. Ain't no banker taking it without a fight. Mr. Peterson. You working for him now, that what this is? I'm trying to help. Help how? By threatening an old man. His finger moved to the trigger. Get off my land. Sir, please. Get. Jesse turned his horse, rode back slow. Behind him, Peterson shouted. Tell Blackwell if he wants my land, he can pry it from my cold dead hands. Jesse reported back. Left out the rifle. The threat. Just said Peterson refused. Blackwell nodded. Expected. Go back tomorrow, with Tate and Morrison. Show him we're serious. He's an old man, he's got nothing. He's got land, prime land. Water rights. I want it. Blackwell opened a drawer, pulled out a deed. He signs this, sells to me, I forgive the debt. He can even stay. Rent. You want me to force him to sell his own land back to you? I want you to present options. What he chooses is up to him. And if he shoots us, then you shoot back. You do still remember. How don't you? Jesse left without answering. That night at dinner, Eliza knew something was wrong. You've barely touched your food. Not hungry? Jesse, can we not do this now? She set down her fork. Do what talk care about you. I'm fine. You're lying. Tommy looked between them, scared. I'm going to bed, the boy said. Tommy, you don't have to. Eliza started, but he was already gone, feet pounding up the stairs. Eliza turned on Jesse. What is happening? You've been different since Blackwell's office. Distant, angry, and now you're snapping at dinner like... She stopped, paled. Oh God, you're working for him. Aren't you? Jesse said nothing. That's what he wanted. He's using you to collect debts, threaten people. It's not like that. Then what is it like? He stood, paced. It's complicated. Uncomplicated. I can't. You don't understand what he'll do if I don't. Tell me. He'll take everything. The store, Tommy's, everything we've built. He'll make sure you lose it all, and he'll make sure everyone knows it was because of me, because you married a criminal, because I brought this on you. Eliza stood too, crossed to him. So instead, you're becoming his criminal, doing his dirty work, to protect you. I don't need protection. I need a husband who doesn't lie to me. The word hung between them. Husband. They'd never called it that before. Not really. Always arrangement, or deal, or agreement. Jesse's voice dropped. You want the truth? Fine. Today I took $40 from Mary Chen. Money she already paid. Money she needed. Tomorrow I'm going back to Peterson's ranch with armed men to force him to sell. And next week there'll be someone else. And the week after. 6 months of this. 6 months of being the thing I ran away from. Eliza's eyes filled. Mary. You took from Mary. I didn't have a choice. You had a choice. You could have said no. And then what? You lose the store. Tommy ends up alone. I end up dead or in prison. He grabbed her arms, gentle but desperate. Tell me what the right choice was, Eliza, please, because I can't see it. She pulled away. The right choice was trusting me, telling me, not deciding alone that you knew what was best. I was trying to protect you. I don't need a protector. I need a partner. She walked to the stairs, stopped. Mary's my only friend. She stood up for you, for us, and you robbed her. Her voice broke. How am I supposed to forgive that? I don't know. Neither do I. She went upstairs. Jesse stood alone in the kitchen. The fire burned low. The house creaked. He'd made his choice. Now he had to live with it. The next morning, Jesse rode to Peterson's ranch with Tate and Morrison. Both carried rifles. Neither spoke to him. Peterson met them at the gate again. This time, 3 ranch hands stood behind him, also armed. Brought friends, Peterson said. Brought a solution. Jesse held up the deed. Blackwell will buy the land. Forgive the debt. You can stay on. Rent-free first year. And then, standard rate. On my own land. Peterson spit. That's rich. It's better than losing it to the bank. Is it I work my whole life to own something just to give it away because some banker got greedy? He shook his head. No deal. Tate moved his horse forward. Old man, you're trying our patience. And you're trespassing. Leave, now. Morrison pulled his rifle. Everything happened fast. Peterson's men raised their guns. Jesse's horse spooked. He yanked the reins, put himself between the weapons. Stop! Everyone stop! Get out of the way, Thornton, Tate growled. No. Jesse looked at Peterson. Give me 1 day. Let me talk to Blackwell. Find another solution. There ain't another solution. Maybe there is. Just don't shoot anyone today, please. Peterson lowered his rifle, nodded once. Jesse turned his horse, rode past Tate and Morrison. You're making a mistake, Tate said. Probably. But I ain't starting a war over land that ain't even mine. Back in town, Jesse burst into Blackwell's office. Peterson's not selling. Blackwell didn't look up from his papers. Then take it by force. He's got men, armed. Someone will die. Maybe, but not my problem. It is your problem if the town sees you started a range war over a debt. That got Blackwell's attention. What are you saying? I'm saying you push this, people will push back. You saw what happened with Carver. They're tired of you. Jesse leaned on his desk. Give Peterson time. Let him sell cattle, pay you back. You get your money, he keeps his land, nobody dies. I don't want money. I want the land. Why? Because it's next to the railroad survey line. That land will be worth 10 times its value in 2 years. Blackwell smiled. This ain't about debt. It's about investment. Jesse's stomach turned. You're stealing from people for profit. I'm doing business, something you clearly don't understand. He pulled out another paper. Since you failed with Peterson, here's your next job. Widow Brennan. Missed 3 payments on her late husband's loan. I want the house. She's got 4 kids. Then she should have thought about that before defaulting. She's broke because her husband died working your mine. Accident, not my fault. Blackwell stood. Do the job, Thornton, or I'll find someone who will. Jesse took the paper, crumpled it, threw it on the desk. I'm done. Excuse me. You heard me. I'm done. I won't do this anymore. Blackwell's face went cold. You break our deal, I destroy your wife. Then destroy her. But I ain't destroying innocent people for you. Jesse turned to leave. Wait. He stopped. Blackwell pulled a telegram from his drawer. This came yesterday. From the Dalton gang. They know you're here. They're coming. Week, maybe less. Ice shot through Jesse's spine. You told them. I let it slip to the right people. Insurance policy. He smiled. See, if you work for me, I protect you. I tell them you're under my employment. They'll leave you alone. But if you quit, well, I've got no reason to protect you. You bastard. I'm a businessman, and you're going to keep being my employee, or you're going to die, and your wife is going to watch. Jesse's hand went to his hip. No gun. He'd stopped wearing it after Tommy said it scared him. Stupid. So damn stupid. 1 week, Blackwell said. Widow Brennan loses the house. Peterson signs the deed. Mary Chen pays double next month. You do all of it, or the Daltons arrive, and I tell them exactly where you sleep. Jesse walked out before he killed the man. He spent the afternoon in the barn, not hiding, thinking, trying to find the crack in the trap. Eliza came out at sunset. I talked to Mary. He didn't turn around. What did she say? That you looked like you wanted to die when you took her money. That you apologized 3 times. That you're not the villain here. She paused. But I am. That made him turn. Tears streaked her face. You're doing this for me. For Tommy. Blackwell's using us against you. It's not your fault. It is. I dragged you into this. I asked you to marry me. I put you in his crosshairs. She crossed to him. I'm so sorry. He pulled her close. She clung to him. We'll figure it out, he said into her hair. How he's got you trapped. He's got all of us trapped. I don't know yet, but I ain't giving up. She pulled back, looked at him. The Daltons are coming, aren't they? He froze. How did you? I heard you in Blackwell. I was outside the door. Fresh tears. They're coming for you. Eliza. Run, take Tommy. Go somewhere Blackwell can't find you. I ain't leaving you. You'll die if you stay. Then I die. But I don't run. Not anymore. Jesse. No. I ran once, left my sister. Let her die alone because I was too scared to face what I'd done. I won't do that again. I won't leave you to clean up my mess. This isn't your mess. It's ours. We're in it together. Then we fight together. She searched his face. Against Blackwell and the Daltons, that's suicide. Maybe. But it's our choice. Our terms. He cupped her face. I'm tired of letting other people decide my life. I'm done running, done hiding. If they want me, they'll have to go through this town, through you, through everyone who stood up so far. The town won't fight for us. Some will. We've seen it. Not enough. He had no answer for that. She was probably right, but he'd rather die fighting than live on his knees. I love you, he said. The words came out before he could stop them. Raw. True. Eliza's breath caught. What? I love you. I know this started fake. I know it was supposed to be temporary. But somewhere between fixing wagons and Sunday dinners and Tommy calling me family, I fell in love with you. With this life. With the idea that maybe I could be someone worth keeping. She kissed him. Desperate. Fierce. Poured everything into it. When they broke apart, she whispered against his lips, I love you too. God help me. I love you too. They held each other in the barn as the sun set, as the last light bled from the sky. Tomorrow the real fight would start. Tonight they had this. The week passed too fast. Jesse refused every job Blackwell gave him. Widow Brennan kept her house. Peterson kept his land. Mary Chen stopped answering her door. Blackwell stopped pretending to be civil. His men started following Jesse, watching the store, making their presence known. The town felt like a powder keg waiting for a spark. It came on a Saturday. 3 riders appeared on the ridge at dawn. Even from a distance, Jesse recognized the lead horse. Big, black, mean. Frank Dalton rode that horse. Jesse was chopping wood when he saw them. The axe slipped, nearly took his foot off. Eliza came out, saw the riders, went white. Get Tommy, get inside, bar the door. I'm not leaving you. Eliza. No, we're doing this together, remember. She ran inside, came back with 2 rifles, handed him one. I can't shoot them. You might have to. These were my friends. Friends don't hunt you down for leaving. The riders came slow, stopped at the property line. Frank Dalton dismounted. The other 2 stayed on their horses, hands on their guns. Frank looked older, harder. Scar across his cheek that hadn't been there before. Jesse Thornton. Been a long time. Frank? Heard you got yourself hitched, settled down, living honest. He smiled. Didn't believe it till I saw it. It's true. Good for you. Really. Frank's hand rested on his gun. Too bad it don't matter. I left clean. Didn't take nothing that wasn't mine. You left in the middle of a job. 3 of us went to prison because of it. Charlie died in there. You remember Charlie? Jesse remembered. Young, stupid. Followed Frank like a dog. I didn't mean. Don't matter what you meant. Matters what happened. Frank stepped closer. You owe us, Jesse. 2 years of your life for the 2 Charlie lost. Or $2,000. Your choice. I don't have $2,000. Then I guess we know which option you're taking. Eliza raised her rifle. He's not going anywhere. Frank looked at her. That your wife pretty, shame. Touch her and I'll kill you, Jesse said. Big talk from a man who don't even wear a gun anymore. Frank drew his pistol, slow. Come on, Jesse, don't make this ugly. Say goodbye to your lady. Walk away like a man. We'll make it quick. You got my word. Your word ain't worth spit. Maybe, but it's all you got. Behind them, the door opened. Tommy ran out. Get back inside, Eliza screamed. But Tommy ran to Jesse, grabbed his leg. Don't let them take you. Please. Frank's face softened, just for a second. You got a kid now, too. He's my brother-in-law. Still, that's different. Frank holstered his gun. Tell you what. Give us the 2,000 we ride out. You never see us again. I told you. I heard you. But maybe you got something worth selling. Store. Land. Something. The store's barely worth 400. Then you're short. Frank remounted. You got 3 days. Come up with the money or come with us. Those are your options. They rode off. Tommy sobbed into Jesse's leg. Eliza lowered the rifle. Her hands shook. 3 days, she whispered. Jesse stared at the dust trail the riders left, at the life he'd built turning to ash in his hands. We need to talk to Blackwell. Are you insane? He's the one who told them. I know, but he's also the only one with that kind of money. Jesse looked at her. And he wants something from me. Maybe we can make a new deal. What kind of deal? I don't know yet, but I've got 3 days to figure it out. That night, Jesse lay awake. Eliza curled against him. They'd stopped pretending he slept in the barn after the kiss, after the confessions. Tommy slept in the next room. Peaceful, unaware how close everything was to falling apart. Jesse counted the hours till dawn, till he'd walk into Blackwell's office and beg. Pride didn't matter anymore. Revenge didn't matter. Only survival. Only family. Morning came gray and cold. Jesse dressed before sunrise, kissed Eliza while she slept, looked in on Tommy. The boy's eyes opened. Where are you going? To fix things. How? I'll figure it out. Promise. Jesse paused. I promise I'll try. It was the best he could offer. He walked to Blackwell's office, knocked. Come in. Blackwell sat behind his desk, drinking coffee, looking pleased with himself. Thornton, heard you had visitors. You know damn well I did. You sent them. I may have mentioned your location to certain parties. Business networking. He sipped. What can I do for you? Jesse swallowed his pride. I need money. $2,000. That's a lot of money. I'll work for it, however long it takes, whatever you want. Anything. Within reason. Blackwell stood, walked to the window. Peterson's land. Get him to sign. I'll give you 1,000. That's half. Then get me the widow's house too. That's the other 1,000. She's got kids, nowhere to go. Not my problem. He turned. Or you could do something else for me. Something worth the full amount. What? Kill Frank Dalton. The room went silent. What? You heard me? He's a wanted man. $500 reward, dead or alive. Kill him, I collect the reward. Give you 2,000 and everyone wins. Except Frank. I can't. Can't or won't. I won't murder a man. Even to save your family. Jesse's mind raced, tried to find another way. There has to be something else. There isn't. It's this or nothing. Blackwell sat back down. You've got 3 days. Think about it. Jesse left. Walked through town in a daze. He'd killed before, in robberies, in self-defense. But never like this. Never cold-blooded execution for money. He found himself at the church, empty this time of day, sat in a pew, stared at the cross. Asking for guidance. Jesse turned. The pastor stood in the doorway. Old, kind eyes. Something like that. Mind if I sit? Free country. The pastor sat, quiet for a moment. I've seen you in town, working, helping, being decent. That's rare for a man with your past. You know about that. Small town. Everyone knows everything eventually. He folded his hands. Question is, what do you do with a second chance? Do you waste it, or do you become who you were always supposed to be? What if becoming that person means doing something terrible? Then maybe you're asking the wrong question. What's the right question? Not what do I have to do, but who do I want to be? The pastor stood. God forgives son. Question is, can you forgive yourself? He left Jesse alone. Jesse sat there till sunset, thinking, praying, trying to find an answer that didn't exist. Finally, he went home. Eliza waited on the porch. Well, Blackwell will give me the money, for a price. What price? Jesse told her. She went pale. No, absolutely not. It might be the only way. Then we find another way. We run, we can't run forever, Eliza. Eventually they'll find us. Find Tommy. This ends it, all of it. It ends you. You become a murderer. I already am. No, you're not. Not like this. Not cold-blooded. She grabbed his face. Please, don't do this. Then what do I do? She had no answer. Neither did he. 2 days left. Jesse woke before dawn on the second day. Eliza slept beside him, face pressed into the pillow, one hand curled near her cheek. He memorized her like this. Peaceful, safe, in case he never saw it again. He dressed quiet, strapped on the gun belt he'd kept hidden in the barn. The weight felt wrong, foreign, like wearing someone else's skin. Tommy stood in the doorway, rubbing his eyes. You're leaving. Not a question. The boy knew. Just for the day. You're gonna fight them, the bad men. Jesse knelt, eye level. I'm gonna try to fix this. By killing somebody. The kid was too damn smart. I don't know yet, maybe. If I have to. Tommy's eyes filled. My pa killed himself because he couldn't live with what he'd done. Are you gonna be like that? The question hit like a fist. No, I ain't your pa. Promise. I promise I'll come back, however this ends. Tommy threw his arms around Jesse's neck, held tight. I don't want you to be sad, like he was. I won't be. I got too much to live for now. He meant it. Every word. Jesse stood, ruffled the boy's hair. Take care of your sister, and stay inside today, no matter what you hear. Okay. Jesse walked out, the gun heavy on his hip, the morning air cold in his lungs. He went to the saloon first, found Frank sitting alone, playing cards with himself, bottle half empty. Thornton, come to talk or shoot. Talk, for now. Frank gestured to the chair across. Jesse sat. You look different, Frank said. Softer. That what love does. Something like that. Good for you, really. He poured 2 glasses, slid one across. But it don't change nothing. You still owe. I know. I'm here to negotiate. Ain't nothing to negotiate. 2,000 or 2 years. Those are the terms. What if I give you something better? Frank's eyebrow raised. I'm listening. Blackwell, the banker. He's been stealing from this town for years, rigging loans, taking property. He's got a safe in his office, probably 50,000 in there, maybe more. You want me to rob him? I want you to take what you're owed and leave. Split it with the others. Start over somewhere. Frank laughed. You're asking me to commit a crime to pay off your debt. That's rich. I'm giving you a bigger score than anything you'd get from me. I'm broke, Frank. I got nothing. But Blackwell, he's got everything, and he deserves it more than anyone. Why don't you rob him yourself? Because I'm trying to go straight. Because I got a family now. Because... Jesse leaned forward. Because you need money, and I need you gone. This solves both problems. Frank studied him. Long and hard. You're serious. As death. And if Blackwell comes after me, he won't know it was you. I'll make sure of it. How? I'll help you. Give you the layout, timing, everything. Frank poured another drink, downed it. When, tonight, he counts the deposits every Saturday night, alone. Safe will be open. Guards, 2. But they make rounds. 20-minute window when the back office is clear. Frank leaned back. You're either the smartest man I've met or the stupidest. Can't figure which. Does it matter you in or not? Long silence. Then Frank extended his hand. We're in. But if you're setting us up, I'm not. I just want my family safe. And you gone. They shook. Jesse gave him the details. Drew a map on a napkin. Explained the guard rotations he'd observed over the past week. When he finished, Frank folded the napkin. One more thing. After this, we're square. You don't owe me. I don't come looking. Clean break. Deal. Jesse stood to leave. Thornton, he turned. You really love her, the wife. More than anything. Frank nodded. Then I hope this works, for your sake. Jesse left, the weight on his chest slightly lighter. Or maybe heavier. Hard to tell. He went to Blackwell's office next. The banker looked surprised. Back so soon made your decision? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll kill Frank. Blackwell smiled. Smart man. When? Tonight. He's staying at the old boarding house. Drinks heavy. I'll wait till he's passed out. Make it quick. And the body. I'll bring proof. You don't need the body. Fair enough. Blackwell opened his safe, counted out $2,000, set it on the desk. Half now, half when it's done. Jesse took the money, felt sick touching it. One question, Blackwell said. Why the change of heart? Because you were right. Family matters more than pride, and I'll do whatever it takes to protect mine. Good answer. Blackwell extended his hand. Jesse shook it. Felt like touching a snake. He left with $1,000 and a plan that could get him killed 6 different ways. Back at the store, Eliza waited, pale, terrified. Well, he showed her the money. First half. Oh, God. Jesse. I'm not killing him. I'm robbing Blackwell. What? He explained fast. The deal with Frank, the plan, the timing. Eliza listened, eyes wide. That's insane. It's the only way. If you get caught, I won't. Frank's good, and Blackwell won't suspect me. He thinks I'm killing Frank tonight. And when Frank robs him, he'll think it's just bad timing, random robbery. He's got enemies. He'll know it was you eventually. Maybe, but by then Frank will be gone, the debt paid. We'll deal with Blackwell later. How? I don't know yet. One crisis at a time. She grabbed his arms. This is crazy, dangerous, wrong. I know. But it's better than murder. That's what I'm hoping. She kissed him, hard and desperate. Be careful. Always. That afternoon, Jesse went through the motions, worked the forge, fixed Mrs. Patterson's wagon wheel, played with Tommy, ate dinner like everything was normal. But his mind kept circling back to tonight, to all the ways it could go wrong. At sunset, Frank and his men rode to the edge of town, waited. Jesse met them in the alley behind the bank. Guards just left for rounds. You got 18 minutes. Frank nodded. Morrison watched the door. Jesse, you're with me. I told you everything. You don't need... I need you where I can see you, in case this is a trap. Fair enough. They slipped through the back door. Jesse had unlocked it earlier. Down the hall, into Blackwell's office. The safe stood open. Just like Jesse said it would. Frank whistled low. You weren't lying. Stacks of bills, gold coins, deeds, documents, a fortune. They stuffed it into saddlebags, fast and efficient. Frank grabbed the deeds too. Why those? Jesse asked. Leverage. In case he comes after us. Smart. They finished. 10 minutes in, plenty of time. Then the door opened. Blackwell stood there, gun drawn. Sheriff Grimes beside him. also armed. "Evening, boys. Going somewhere." Jesse's heart stopped. Frank's hand went to his gun. "Don't," Grimes said. "You're outgunned and you know it." They were. Morrison was outside, outnumbered. Blackwell smiled. "Did you really think I'd fall for this, Thornton, that I wouldn't see through your pathetic little scheme? How? I own this town. Every person in it, including the barkeep you had your little chat with this morning." He stepped closer. "I heard everything. Every word." Frank glared at Jesse. "You set us up." "No, I didn't. You thought you were clever. You're not." Blackwell gestured to Grimes. "Arrest them. All of them." Grimes moved forward, pulled out handcuffs. Jesse's mind raced. This couldn't happen. If he went to jail, Eliza and Tommy... He moved without thinking, shoved Frank toward the window. "Go!" Frank crashed through. Glass shattered. He hit the ground running. Morrison fired, covered him. Jesse dove behind the desk as Grimes shot. Wood exploded. Splinters flew. Blackwell ducked out. Coward. Jesse grabbed the letter opener on the desk. Not much, but better than nothing. Came up swinging as Grimes rounded the corner. Connected with the sheriff's gun hand. The pistol flew. They grappled. Grimes was bigger, older, but soft from years behind a desk. Jesse got him in a chokehold. "I'm sorry. I'm so damn sorry." He squeezed until Grimes went limp. Not dead. Just out. Jesse grabbed the gun. The saddlebags. Ran. Out the back. Into the alley. Morrison was down. Bleeding but alive. "Go!" Morrison gasped. "They're coming!" Jesse ran. Through alleys. Behind buildings. Heard shouting. Gunfire. He made it to the store. Burst through the door. Eliza screamed. Then saw him. "What happened?" "It went wrong. All wrong. We have to go. Now." "What?" "Now, Eliza." She moved. Grabbed Tommy. Threw essentials in a bag. Jesse took the saddlebags full of Blackwell's money. His one piece of leverage. They went out the back. To the barn. The horses were already saddled. Jesse had prepared just in case. They mounted. Tommy with Eliza. The boy's eyes huge and terrified. "Where are we going?" she asked. "Away, as far as we can get." "They'll chase us." "I know." They rode hard. Out of town. Into the dark. Behind them, Redstone Valley burned with torchlight. Men shouting, organizing, coming. Jesse pushed the horses harder. They couldn't outrun a posse. Not with Eliza and Tommy. Not in the dark. They needed help. He changed direction. Headed for Peterson's ranch. The old man met them at the gate, rifle ready, saw Jesse's face, lowered it. "What happened?" "Everything. I need your help." Peterson looked at Eliza, at Tommy, at the desperation in Jesse's eyes. "Come on, barn's that way." They hid the horses. Went inside. Peterson's ranch hands gathered. "Blackwell's men will come here," Peterson said, looking. "I know, I'm sorry. I didn't have anywhere else." "Shut up. I'm not done." Peterson turned to his men. "How many of you boys are tired of Blackwell running this valley like he owns every breath we take?" All of them raised their hands. "Then maybe it's time we did something about it." One of the hands spoke up. "You talking about standing against the law? I'm talking about standing against corruption, against a man who's been bleeding us dry for years. Thornton here tried to fight back. He failed. But at least he tried." Peterson looked at Jesse. "Sometimes failing's more honorable than never trying at all." "Mr. Peterson, I can't ask you to." "You're not asking. I'm offering. Been waiting for someone to have the spine to stand up. Might as well be you." Hoofbeats outside. Lots of them. They came to the windows. Torches. 20 men. Maybe more. Blackwell's voice rang out. "Peterson, send out Thornton or we burn you out." Peterson opened the door. Stepped onto the porch. "You'll do no such thing. This is my land. You got no authority here. I've got the sheriff, That's all the authority I need. Sheriff's corrupt as you are. Everyone knows it. Then everyone can watch you burn with the criminal you're harboring." Blackwell gestured. His men moved forward. Torches raised. A gunshot cracked the air. Everyone froze. Mary Chen stood at the edge of the property, rifle smoking. That was a warning. Next one ain't. Behind her more people, Mrs. Patterson, the baker, the boarding house owners, a dozen townsfolk, all armed. "You want to burn something," Mary called out. "You go through all of us first." Blackwell's face went purple. "This is insane. He's a criminal." "So are you." Mrs. Patterson stepped forward. "You've been stealing from us for years, rigging loans, taking land. We're done. You can't." "We can, and we are." She looked at the others. "Who here is tired of Blackwell?" Every hand went up. "Who here wants their debts forgiven and their land returned?" Louder agreement. "Then maybe," Mrs. Patterson said, "it's time for a new banker." Blackwell pulled his gun. "I'll kill every last—" Jesse stepped out, onto the porch, holding the saddlebags high. "You want these, your money, your deeds, come and take them." He threw them into the yard. The bags split open, bills scattered, documents flew in the wind, people scrambled, grabbed, found their own deeds, ripped them up. Chaos erupted. Blackwell's men looked at each other, started backing off. This wasn't what they'd signed up for. The sheriff tried to restore order. "Everyone stop, this is over," Peterson said. He walked down, picked up a deed, his own land. "You don't own us anymore, Blackwell." One by one, people found their papers. Debts, loans, contracts, all illegal, all void now. They tore them apart. Blackwell stood alone, his power crumbling. "You'll all pay for this. I'll bring the federal marshal. You'll do nothing," Mary said, "because we have proof, all of it, every illegal deal, every stolen payment, every forged signature." She held up a ledger. "I've been keeping track, for years, waiting for the right moment." Blackwell's face went gray. "Where did you—" "Your office, last week, while you were at the saloon." She smiled. "Turns out being invisible has its advantages." He lunged for her. Jesse moved faster, tackled him. They hit the dirt hard. Blackwell thrashed. "I'll kill you. I'll kill your wife, your boy. Everyone you—" Jesse's fist connected with his jaw. Once, twice, 3 times. "Enough." Peterson pulled him off. "He ain't worth it." Jesse stood, breathing hard, blood on his knuckles. Blackwell lay in the dirt, groaning. Grimes appeared, looking lost. What do I do?" "Your job," Mary said. "Arrest him. For fraud, theft, extortion, and anything else we can think of." Grimes hesitated, then nodded, pulled out handcuffs. "Silas Blackwell, you're under arrest." Blackwell screamed, fought, took 3 men to get him in cuffs. They dragged him away, still shouting threats, promises of revenge, but nobody listened. The crowd dispersed, slow, stunned by what they'd done, what they'd won. Jesse stood in the middle of the yard. Eliza ran to him. Tommy right behind. They collided, all 3, holding on like the world was still trying to tear them apart. "Is it over?" Tommy whispered. "Yeah, kid. It's over." "Did we win?" Jesse looked around, at the scattered money, the torn-up deeds, the people walking away with their freedom. "Yeah, I think we did." Eliza pulled back, looked at him. "What about Frank? The Daltons?" "Frank got away. He'll come back for the money, for revenge. Then we're not safe." "Not yet. But—" He looked at Peterson, at Mary, at the town that had stood up. "We got people now. We got a chance." Mary approached. "Jesse, about the money you took from me?" "It's yours. All of it. In those bags somewhere. He gestured at the scattered bills. Take what you need. What's left, divide it. Everyone Blackwell stole from. Make it right. She studied him. You're giving it back. It was never mine to keep. She hugged him, quick and fierce. Thank you. Peterson clapped his shoulder. You got more backbone than I gave you credit for, Thornton. You're welcome on my land any time. Thank you, sir, for everything. Don't thank me yet. You still got Frank to deal with. True. They rode back to town at dawn. The store was intact, untouched. Inside, everything was as they'd left it, like the world hadn't just turned upside down. Tommy collapsed on the couch, exhausted. Eliza covered him with a blanket. Jesse stood at the window, watching, waiting. Eliza came up behind him, wrapped her arms around his waist. What are you thinking? That this can't last. That Frank will come back. That Blackwell will get out eventually. That we're living on borrowed time. Maybe, but we're living. Together. That counts for something. Does it? I've turned you into a fugitive. Tommy into... She turned him around. Stop. You didn't turn us into anything. We chose this. I chose you. Tommy chose you. Whatever comes next, we face it as a family. Family, he repeated, testing the word. Family, she confirmed. Real, legal, ours. He kissed her, soft and slow, poured everything he couldn't say into it. When they broke apart, she smiled. You know what we need? What? A real wedding. With the town. With Tommy as your best man. With a party and cake and everything we didn't get the first time. Eliza, I'm serious. We started this as a lie. Let's make it true, completely, forever. He looked at her, at the hope in her eyes. The love. The certainty. All right, yeah, let's do it. She grinned, kissed him again. Tommy's voice drifted from the couch. Can I have cake now? They laughed, the sound bright and real and human. The sun rose over Redstone Valley. The town breathed. People emerged, started putting pieces back together. Jesse stood on the porch, Eliza beside him, Tommy between them. They watched the world wake up. Jesse, Tommy said. Yeah, kid. Are you still gonna leave someday? When things get bad again? Jesse knelt, looked the boy in the eye. No, I'm staying. No matter what comes, I'm staying. Promise? Promise. Tommy smiled, threw his arms around Jesse's neck. Eliza's hand found Jesse's shoulder. Squeezed. They stayed like that. A family. Imperfect. Scarred. But real. 3 days later, Frank Dalton rode back into town. Alone. Jesse met him in the street. Hand on his gun. Come to collect, Jesse asked. Come to say goodbye. Frank dismounted. Heard what happened, what you did. Standing up to Blackwell. Getting the town behind you. That's something. It wasn't just me. Maybe, but you started it. Frank pulled an envelope from his coat. Found this in the saddlebags, before everything went to hell. It's a pardon, for you, from the territorial governor. Old friend owed me a favor, called it in. Jesse took it, opened it, read it twice. This is real. Real as it gets. Your record's clean, warrants void, you're free. Why? Because you tried to save me, even when you didn't have to, even when it cost you everything. Frank extended his hand. We're square, Jesse, for real this time. You don't owe me. I don't owe you. Clean slate. They shook. What about the others, your men? They're gone, moved on. It's just me now, and I'm heading west. New territory, new start. He smiled. Maybe I'll try the honest life, see how it fits. It's harder than it looks. Figured, but you make it look possible. That's worth something. Frank mounted, tipped his hat. Take care of your family, Jesse Thornton. You earned them." He rode off, into the sunrise. Jesse stood alone in the street, the pardon in his hand, the weight finally lifting. He walked back to the store, to Eliza cooking breakfast, to Tommy setting the table, to home. "Everything okay?" Eliza asked. He showed her the pardon. She read it. Tears filled her eyes. "You're free. We're free." She kissed him. Tommy cheered. They ate together, laughed together, made plans for the wedding, for the future. Outside Redstone Valley carried on, imperfect, struggling, but theirs. And inside the Hartford General Store, a family built on lies and desperation and choice, they held on tight to what they'd won. Not perfect, not easy, but real, and worth every scar they'd earned along the way. The wedding was set for Saturday, 3 weeks after Frank rode out. 3 weeks of rebuilding, of breathing without looking over shoulders, of almost believing peace might last. Eliza spent mornings running the store and afternoons with Mary planning. A real ceremony this time, in the church, with the whole town invited. Tommy practiced his speech. Best man duties he took serious as gospel. Jesse worked, fixed roofs, mended fences, helped Peterson's hands with the fall roundup, kept his head down and his hands busy. But nights he couldn't sleep, kept waiting for the other boot to drop, for Blackwell to escape, for another Dalton to appear, for the past to come roaring back. "You're doing it again," Eliza said one night. They lay in bed, her head on his chest, his heart beating too fast under her ear. Doing what? Waiting for disaster. "Can you blame me?" "No, but I can remind you it's over. We won. We're safe. For now." She propped herself up, looked at him in the dark. "Jesse, when does it stop? The fear, the waiting." "I don't know. When it feels real, I guess." "It is real. I'm real. Tommy's real. This—" She touched his face. "This is real." He caught her hand, kissed her palm. "I know. I keep thinking I don't deserve it, that something's gonna take it away." "Nothing's taking it away. Not unless you let it." She settled back against him. "Sleep. We got a wedding to get through." He tried, but sleep came thin and restless, full of dreams that felt like memories, of running, of blood, of Tommy crying over a grave that looked too much like his. He woke before dawn, dressed quiet, went to the barn. The horses nickered soft. He fed them, brushed them, found comfort in the routine. "Can't sleep either." Jesse turned. Peterson stood in the doorway, coat over his nightshirt, boots unlaced. "What are you doing here?" "Saw your light, figured you might want company." He leaned against the stall. "Wedding jitters." "Something like that." "Normal. I couldn't sleep for a week before I married Helen. Kept thinking I'd mess it up. Say the wrong thing. Trip on my own feet." He smiled, sad and fond, sad and... "Day of, I was so nervous, I threw up twice. But the moment I saw her walking down that aisle, everything went quiet, made sense." "How long were you married?" 42 years. Would have been more if the fever hadn't taken her." "I'm sorry." "Don't be. I got 42 years of the best damn thing that ever happened to me. Some men don't get 42 days. He looked at Jesse. "You're getting a good woman. Strong, smart, loyal as they come. Don't waste it being scared." "What if I'm not enough for her?" "Then you get better, every day. That's what marriage is, choosing to be better because someone believes you can be." Peterson pushed off the stall. "Now come on, sun's almost up. Let's get some coffee before the women wake up and start bossing us around." They walked to Peterson's house, sat on the porch, drank coffee black and bitter. The sun climbed, painted the valley gold and pink. "It's beautiful here," Jesse said. "It is, worth fighting for." "You really think we can hold it, keep Blackwell's kind from taking over again?" I think people remember what it feels like to stand up, to win. That's a powerful thing. Once you taste freedom, you don't go back to chains easy. Peterson sipped. Besides town voted, Mary Chen's running for mayor, Mrs. Patterson's taking over the bank. Things are changing. For good this time. You sound sure. I am. Because of you. You showed people it's possible. To fight. To survive. To build something worth keeping. Jesse stared at his coffee. I didn't do anything special. Just tried not to die. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes surviving's the bravest thing you can do. They sat quiet, watching the world wake up. Two men who'd learned the hard way that peace was earned, not given. By noon, the town was chaos. Good chaos. The kind that came with celebration. The church was decorated. Wildflowers everywhere. Tommy had picked them himself. Ribbons on the pews. Candles ready to light. Mary and Mrs. Patterson herded people into place, firm but kind, organized as any general. Jesse stood at the altar, sweating through his good shirt, the one Eliza had made him buy special. Tommy beside him, grinning like Christmas. You ready? The boy whispered. No. Me either. But we're doing it anyway. The music started. The pastor took his place. The doors opened. Eliza walked in alone. No one to give her away. She'd insisted. Said she was her own person. Gave herself. She wore her mother's dress. Altered to fit. Simple. White. Perfect. Jesse forgot how to breathe. She reached the altar, took his hands, smiled up at him. Hi, she whispered. Hi. The pastor cleared his throat. Dearly beloved. The doors burst open. Jake Carver stood there, leg bandaged, gun drawn, face twisted with rage. Nobody move. The church erupted, screams, people ducking. Jesse pushed Eliza behind him. Carver, don't do this. Don't do this. The bounty hunter limped forward. You shot me. You cost me a fortune. You humiliated me in front of the whole damn territory. You threatened my family. And now I'm finishing the job. He aimed at Jesse. Move aside, Mrs. Thornton. This ain't your fight. The hell it isn't. Eliza stayed put. You shoot him, you shoot me. Then I shoot you both. No, you won't. Mary's voice. Cold. Steady. Carver turned. She stood in the aisle. Rifle raised. Aimed at his head. Drop it, Carver. You gonna shoot me in a church? If I have to. God'll forgive me. You threatened one of ours. Peterson stood, also armed. Then Mrs. Patterson. Then the baker. Then a dozen others. Every person in that church was armed. Every person stood. Carver looked around. Realized his mistake. This is crazy. All of you. Over him, over a criminal, over family, Tommy said. Small voice but fierce. He stepped forward, standing between Jesse and the gun. You can't have him. He's mine. Kid, move. No. Jesse grabbed Tommy, tried to pull him back. The boy fought. Let me go. He's my... Tommy's voice broke. He's my pa now. You can't take him. The word hit Jesse like lightning. Pa. Not Jesse. Not friend. Pa. Something in him shattered, then rebuilt. Stronger. He knelt. Put himself between Tommy and Carver. Spread his arms wide. You want me? Take me. But you leave them alone. All of them. Carver's hand shook. You think you're a hero? You're not. You're just another outlaw who got lucky. Maybe. But I'm their outlaw. And that's enough. A gunshot cracked. Carver jerked, looked down. Blood bloomed on his shoulder. He dropped his gun. Fell to his knees. Sheriff Grimes stood in the doorway, smoking pistol in hand. Jake Carver, you're under arrest, again, for assault, attempted murder, and being too damn stupid to know when you're beat. Two deputies rushed in, hauled Carver up, dragged him out. He fought, screamed threats, promises of revenge. The doors closed behind him. Silence. Then Tommy started crying. Jesse pulled him close, held tight. Eliza wrapped around them both, the three of them holding on in the middle of the church, while everyone watched, while the pastor waited, while life hung suspended between what was and what could be. Finally, Jesse pulled back, looked at Tommy. "Did you mean it? What you said? About you being my pa?" "Yeah." Tommy nodded, fierce, certain. "If that's okay. If you want, I want, more than anything." Jesse looked at Eliza. "Both of you. Forever. If you'll have me." "We already said yes once," Eliza said. "This is just making it official." The pastor coughed. "Speaking of official, shall we?" The ceremony resumed, shaky at first, then stronger. Jesse repeated vows. Eliza repeated vows. They slid on rings, simple bands, gold, warm. "I now pronounce you husband and wife, again, officially, for real this time." The pastor grinned. "You may kiss." Jesse was already kissing her. Deep, real, complete. The church exploded, cheering, clapping, Tommy whooping. They broke apart, laughing, crying, alive. The reception was held in the square, tables everywhere, food people brought, fiddle music, dancing. Jesse danced with Eliza, stiff and awkward but trying. She laughed at his two left feet. He stepped on her toes twice. She didn't care. Tommy danced with Mary, then Mrs. Patterson, then anyone who'd take him. Energy limitless, joy infectious. As the sun set, Jesse found himself alone for a moment, standing at the edge of the square, watching. Peterson joined him, handed him a glass. Whiskey. "To surviving," the old man said. They drank. "You did good today," Peterson continued. "Standing up for them. For yourself." "Didn't feel good. Felt terrified." "That's how you know it mattered." Jesse watched Eliza twirl Tommy in a circle, both laughing, both lit by sunset and lantern light. "I keep waiting for it to fall apart," he admitted, "for someone to realize I don't deserve this. Son, none of us deserve what we got, good or bad. We just get it. Question is what we do with it." Peterson squeezed his shoulder. "You chose love, chose family, chose to fight for something bigger than yourself. That's deserving enough." Jesse's throat closed. "Thank you, for everything, for believing in me when no one else did." "Thank Eliza. She believed first. Rest of us just followed." True. Eliza saw him standing there. Broke away from the dancing. Came over. "You hiding, breathing. Long day. Longest. Best. Scariest day of my life." She took his hand. "Want to make it longer?" "What do you mean?" She leaned in, whispered something that made him blush. "Eliza Hartford Thornton. That's Mrs. Thornton to you. And yes, I mean it. Let's go home." They snuck away, laughing like teenagers, left Tommy with Mary, promised to be back by morning, walked hand in hand through the quiet streets, to the store, up the stairs, to their room. Jesse stopped in the doorway. "I'm scared." "Of what?" "Disappointing you, not being enough, messing this up." Eliza pulled him inside, closed the door. "Jesse, you've already been enough. Every day, every moment. This..." She touched his face. "This is just the beginning. We've got years to figure it out, to mess up, to forgive, to try again." "You make it sound easy." "It's not. But it's worth it." She kissed him soft. "Now stop talking and kiss your wife." He did. And for the first time in his life, Jesse Thornton felt like he'd finally come home. Morning came too soon, and not soon enough. They lay tangled together. Her head on his chest, his arm around her. The world outside quiet and waiting. "We should get up," she said. No urgency, just stating fact. "Should, but don't want to. Tommy will wonder." "Tommy knows. He's not stupid." She laughed, soft against his ribs. "No, he's not." They stayed another hour, talking, planning, dreaming out loud about the future, about expanding the store, about maybe more kids, about growing old in this town they'd fought to keep. Finally they rose, dressed, went downstairs. Tommy was already there, making breakfast, badly. Eggs burned. Bacon crispy beyond recognition. Toast black. "I tried," he said, sheepish. "It's perfect," Eliza said. Meant it. They ate together. Terrible food that tasted like love, like family, like everything they'd almost lost. After Jesse took Tommy outside, they sat on the porch, watched the town wake up. "Tommy, I want to ask you something." "Okay." "Yesterday, in the church, you called me Pa." Tommy tensed. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have—" "No, don't apologize. Jesse paused, found the words. "I'd like to make it official, if you want. Adoption papers, legal, real. You'd be my son, officially." Tommy stared, eyes huge. "Really? Really? But only if you want. No pressure. You can think about—" Tommy crashed into him, arms tight around his neck. "Yes, yes, yes, yes." Jesse held him. This boy who'd chosen him, who'd stood between him and a gun, who'd claimed him as family when blood said otherwise. "Thank you," Jesse whispered, "for seeing something in me I couldn't see in myself." "You're a good pa," Tommy said, matter of fact. "Certain. The best." Jesse's eyes burned. "I'll try to be. Every day." They sat like that, father and son by choice, by love, by every definition that mattered. Eliza found them an hour later, still on the porch, Tommy asleep against Jesse's shoulder. Jesse staring at the horizon, peaceful for the first time since she'd known him. "You okay?" she asked quiet. "Yeah, I really am." She sat on his other side, the three of them together, complete. "What are you thinking?" she asked. "That I spent so long running from my past I almost missed my future." He looked at her. "Thank you, for taking a chance on a broken man." "You're not broken, just scared. We all are." She took his hand. "But we're scared together. That makes it bearable. More than bearable." He kissed her temple. "Makes it beautiful." The months that followed were the closest thing to normal Jesse had ever known. He worked, came home, ate dinner with his family, helped Tommy with schoolwork, made love to his wife, slept through the night. Mostly. Blackwell went to trial. Mary's ledgers provided all the evidence needed. He was convicted, sentenced to 10 years, shipped to a federal prison in Kansas, far away from Redstone Valley and the people he'd terrorized. The town thrived. New businesses opened. Mary won the mayoral race by a landslide. Mrs. Patterson restructured the bank. Fair loans. Honest dealings. People started trusting again. Peterson adopted Jesse and Eliza into his life like they'd always been there. Sunday dinners. Holidays. Advice when asked. Silence when needed. The father figure Jesse had never had. Tommy grew. Shot up 3 inches. Started working the forge after school. Good with his hands. Patient with the metal. Jesse taught him everything he knew. Watched pride as the boy learned. Flourished. Became someone worth knowing. And Eliza, she bloomed. The fear left her eyes. The tension left her shoulders. She laughed more. Dreamed bigger. Started talking about expansion. Maybe a second store. Maybe branching out. They were happy. Real happy. The kind that came from surviving hell and choosing each other anyway. But happiness, Jesse learned, wasn't the absence of fear. It was choosing to live despite it. The fear came back 6 months after the wedding. Middle of winter. Snow falling thick. Jesse was closing up the forge when a stranger rode in. Young, early 20s. Same build as Frank Dalton. Same eyes. Jesse's hand went to his gun. Instinct. The stranger held up both hands. Empty. I ain't here for trouble. Then what? Frank sent me. He's dead. Happened last month. Fever took him. But before he went, he wanted me to deliver a message. Jesse's chest tightened. What message? The stranger pulled out an envelope, handed it over. He said you'd understand. Jesse opened it, read Frank's handwriting. Shaky, but legible. Jesse, if you're reading this, I'm gone. Good. Means I don't have to watch myself turn into the thing I always hated. I'm writing to say thank you for showing me there's another way. I tried it. Went honest. Worked a ranch in Montana. Met a woman. Was happy. For 3 whole months before I got sick. But those 3 months were worth more than all the years before. You gave me that. You showed me it's possible. So thank you. And take care of that family. They're worth more than all the gold we ever stole. Tell them they mattered to a dying outlaw. Tell them they changed a life. Your friend, Frank. Jesse folded the letter. His eyes burned. He really went straight, he asked. He did. Worked harder than any man I've seen. Was good at it too. People liked him. The stranger smiled. He talked about you sometimes. Said you saved his life, even if you cost him his freedom. Said it was worth the trade. Thank you for bringing this. One more thing. He wanted you to have this. The stranger pulled out a small box, opened it. Inside was a gold pocket watch, engraved. To Jesse, for showing me what time is really worth. Frank. Jesse took it, held it like the treasure it was. Tell him, tell his memory I said thank you too, and that I'm sorry. For everything. I think he knew. The stranger left. Jesse stood alone in the falling snow, holding the watch, feeling the weight of redemption, of forgiveness, of second chances earned and given. He walked home. Eliza was making dinner. Tommy was setting the table, normal, beautiful, his. Everything okay? Eliza asked. She saw his face, knew something had happened. Frank died, but he... Jesse showed her the letter, the watch. He made it, for a while. He was happy. She read the letter, cried. He found his way. Because of us. Because we fought for something and he saw it was possible. We're not responsible for his redemption, Jesse. He chose it himself. I know. But maybe we helped. A little. Then that's enough. She held him. That's more than enough. That night, Jesse couldn't sleep again. But this time, it wasn't fear. It was gratitude. For the life he'd found. For the people who'd given him a chance. For the boy sleeping down the hall who called him Pa. For the woman beside him who'd seen his worst and chosen his best. He got up, walked through the store, touched the shelves, the counter, the walls that had become home. Found Tommy's drawing on the wall. Stick figures, a family. Jesse tall, Eliza smiling, Tommy in the middle, hearts everywhere. He traced it with his finger. Smiled. Can't sleep. Eliza's voice, soft behind him. Just thinking. About how lucky I am. How close I came to missing all this. She came to him, wrapped around his back. But you didn't miss it. You found it. You fought for it. You kept it. We kept it. We kept it, she agreed. They stood like that. In the dark. In the quiet. In the home they'd built from lies and desperation and love. Eliza. Yeah. I don't say it enough. But I love you. More than I thought I could love anything. You and Tommy, you're everything. The reason I wake up. The reason I fight. The reason I believe I'm worth saving." She turned him around, kissed him, deep and true. "I love you too. Every broken piece, every scared part, every beautiful moment. Even when I mess up. Especially then, because you always try to fix it. That's what matters. Not being perfect, just being present, being real, being ours." They went back to bed, held each other, let sleep come easy and peaceful. 3 years later, Jesse stood in the same church, same altar, different occasion. Eliza beside him, holding a baby girl, 3 months old, dark hair, brown eyes, lungs that could wake the dead. Tommy stood beside them, 11 now, tall, proud. Big brother duties he took as serious as best man had been. The pastor blessed the baby. "What name have you chosen?" "Hope," Eliza said. "Hope Thornton." "A good name, a powerful name." The pastor smiled. "May she live up to it." Jesse held his daughter for the first time in church, looked down at her tiny face, saw the future, saw possibility, saw everything he'd fought to protect. "Hey there, little one," he whispered. "Welcome to the family. We're not perfect, we're not fancy, but we're yours, and we'll fight for you every day of your life, just like we fought for each other." Hope yawned, unimpressed, already bored with speeches. The congregation laughed, soft and fond. After the christening they walked home, a family, complete, imperfect, scarred, real. Jesse carried Hope. Tommy held Eliza's hand. They moved slow, savoring. "Pa," Tommy said. "Yeah, son. Are we gonna be okay, always?" Jesse thought about it, about Blackwell, about Frank, about Carver, about every close call and near miss and moment they'd almost lost everything. "I don't know about always, but I know we'll fight for okay. Every single day, together, and that's enough. Promise. Promise." They reached the store, their home, their life. Jesse stood on the porch, looked back at the town, at the valley, at the place that had given him a second chance, at the people who'd believed in him when he couldn't believe in himself. Eliza came up beside him. "What are you thinking?" "That I was wrong, back at the beginning, when I thought I was poison, when I thought I'd destroy everything I touched." "You were wrong." "I was, because I didn't destroy. I built. We built. This life, this family, this home." He looked at her. "And I'd choose it again, every time, no matter what it cost." "Good, because you're stuck with us now," she smiled. "For better or worse, for richer or poorer, for all the days we've got left. I can live with that." "Good. Now come inside. Your daughter needs feeding and your son has homework. And your wife wants to sit down before her feet fall off." He laughed, followed her in, into the warmth, into the noise, into the beautiful chaos of family. As he closed the door behind him, Jesse Thornton realized something. He'd spent his whole life running from himself, from his past, from the fear that he'd never be enough. But here in this home with these people, he was enough. More than enough. He was loved, chosen, kept. And that was the only redemption that mattered. The door closed. The lamps lit. The family gathered. And in that moment, in that space, everything was exactly as it should be. Not perfect, not easy, not simple, but real, true, earned. And Jesse Thornton finally understood what it meant to be home.